the FOP's contract. All right, some of you might be saying, well, Devontae, that's a little harsh. That's not harsh. If you are, and here, let me back up a little bit. Now, the police stations do, and the police departments do need to be defunded. Because I don't know if you realize it or not, but $9 billion every year out of New York City's budget goes to fund the police department in New York City. Every year in LA, $6 billion goes to fund the police department. Every year here in Columbus, multiple hundreds of millions goes to fund the police department. The police department here in Columbus accounts for a little over 60% of the annual budget of the city's budget. And that's crazy. That's not right. That's not fair in any way. So yes, I'm in favor of defunding the police. Yes, we need to do something. That money could be going to other places here in the city. Yes. Yes. So we need to really do something different. And that's why I'm saying let's not take the foot off the ball. Yeah, now, I want to finish that thought in just a second. Now, for those of you who have been DMing me and commenting and emailing and texting me, wondering what in the hell happened earlier today. Well, there was almost 2,000 people down there. Maybe 1,500, rough estimate. There was no official count, but there was 1,500 to 2,000 black females, and there were some men down there as well in downtown Columbus. And when you get that many folk together, everybody and their mom has cell phones and data connections, because everybody wants to connect, goes down. So we were having trouble getting the signal out. But we are working on purchasing this device called the LiveView unit. And what it does is it bonds cellular data connections together. So it'll take a T-Mobile, it'll take two Verizons and an AT&T, and bond those connections together to where we're able to constantly get a stream signal out in whatever area we're in. This is what you see news reporters and things using. Right now we just use our phones with T-Mobile, and that's how we go live, but we'll be making the shift here in the next couple of weeks to make that happen. So it never happens to where you see our be right back screen and you're like, all right, it said be right back for 15 minutes, what's going on? Something going on. But that's what happened. Everybody was on their cell phones. But while that was going on, I did capture a lot of video via camera and here on the phone, and did a few interviews and got some pictures. I'll have all that up later tonight and in the coming days. Now, I want to go back to what I was just talking about defunding the police, now that you understand what happened and why I think that's critical. Now, my number one reasoning for getting behind defunding the city's Columbus's and really all police departments is because the police departments have so much money coming in, and it's a problem when they are able to buy tear gas and things like that and bullets, but our schools can't get books for students. Our schools can't afford to feed the children. That's a problem when police officers are able to do that. Now, some of you may argue and say, hey, well, Devontae, your thinking's wrong. They need bullets to be able to protect and serve. No, they do not. Because if we look at other progressive countries, just like the United States, their model of policing, such as China and Russia, their police officers don't even carry guns, and the ones that do are so high up that they have the authority to do so, but they never use them unless they have to. And you see how things turn out there. Now, in America, we're supposed to be the biggest, the baddest, and the toughest country all across the land. Do we really need to carry guns, our police officers? No, not really. I don't think so. Now, Are guns a bad thing? No, guns are not a bad thing. We all have the right to bear them, and we should have them for our own protection these days. But what's a bad thing is what comes out of them when you are shooting them without no repercussions, like bullets. Bullets have no eyes. And quite frankly, not only do bullets not have eyes, but tasers and the electric bolts that come out of them don't have any eyes either. But I'd much rather for a black person like me to take their chances of being tased than being shot brutally with a gun. Because I do know that bullet will kill me. Now, the voltage of that taser, it might kill me as well too, but at least I have some sort of a fighting chance. Unlike with a bullet. Come on now. But there, what's coming up with the Unbossed and Unbought show is this is going to turn into a full-on daily show come July, where we're covering the day's issues, and it's going to be a 2.5-hour daily show, really a 3-hour daily show, but the final 30 minutes is going to be reserved for members only, and you can become a member by supporting us over on CashApp at UnBoughtUnBossedTV, and you could also give to us on PayPal at UnBoughtUnBossedTV. And that's UnBought without the R, for those of you that get confused. That's UnBoughtUnBossedTV. And the reason why we need to support real independent journalism, black, and let me put the emphasis on black independent journalism, is because nowhere else do you get to have the real conversations like this. I can guarantee you right now, if I pull up the comments, because I haven't had them up, on CNN, MSNBC, wherever, they aren't having conversations with you like this. So support black-owned independent journalism, because we get to have these real conversations. And also on the daily show that's starting up in July, the Unbought and Unbossed show, is not only is it going to be a 3-hour daily show, but we're going to have some of the nation's experts talking about these different things. We're also going to have black business owners coming on talking about their company, and believe it or not, I'm working right now so expeditiously with a bunch of black businesses so that black business owners can fund this black business network. I'm sorry, not business network, but this black news network, because quite frankly, we need to fund our own news. For those of you that don't understand why I do this with such passion, I do it in such rigor, I do it at, and why I'm willing to push people and to push through things and to say some things that challenge people, is it all goes back to in the Freedom's Journal, when it was wrote on March 24th, I believe, 1829. I'll post the exact quote right after I'm finished on Facebook and on Twitter. But in that, the lead editorial, and the bottom stanza of the paragraph of the lead editorial, the editors wrote, "We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have we allowed and waited on others to do it for us." And that's all I'm doing right here with the Unbought and Unbossed show, is trying to plead our own cause, to tell our own story, not depending on anybody else to do it. And that's why I ask for each and every one of you who are watching on Periscope, who are watching on Twitch, who are watching on DLive, who are watching on our website, who's watching on YouTube, who's watching on Facebook, to give to black independent media. Maybe you don't want to give to us, but go out and find a black independent journalist in the field telling the real, raw, true story of how it's done. Because whether you believe it or not, the way even local news operates is, if it bleeds, it leads. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it is the truth. That's how they operate. That's just a fact of how they operate. And the only reason we are able to do what we are doing right now is because of your dollars. Last week alone, while we were in the field, oh, well, really the last 2 weeks while we've been in the field, we been able to do some amazing stuff because of you all becoming members. A membership is just $50 a year. Watch this real quick. If all of you became members who are watching right now, I think there are 200 across all platforms that are watching live right now. If you all simply became members at $50 a year, let me pull out my other device here. So $50 a year times 200, that's $10,000. Yes, that's $10,000. Think of what we're able to do, how many new people we, employees, reporters, and things like that, we're able to bring on to do what we do to cover and to give you more news. But we can't do that if you don't understand the power of the black dollar. So many of us are always complaining about CNN, ABC, CBS, and Fox and all of them. But what I've learned and what I know is we're going to continue to complain about them until we get up and we take matters into our own hands. So you have to get up and do something about it. I used to be the one that used to sit on the couch and watch MSNBC all day, watch Fox, flip to CNN. Yes, I watch Fox. Much as I didn't like it, I had to know what the other side was saying. I watch CNN, watch all of these pundits talk and do and say things, and then, you know what? I said something just isn't right. I got up, I took my phone, I got a mic, and I went out there and I started talking to the real people. Started getting the real story, starting hearing what folk was really talking about, seeing what was really going on with my own eyes. And that's when I decided to take you along. And so, also in July, that's why supporting Black independent media is important. But in July, not only is this show launching and becoming a daily show, but we are also launching a full-on network. Yes, a full-on digital network where you can watch on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, DLive, all of those platforms, YouTube, our website. We're launching a full-on network, and we are going to have a black business show that are showcasing black businesses here locally in Columbus. We'll eventually move nationally, but the power of the black dollar in Columbus and the reason why you need to support black-owned businesses. We'll also have a fitness show, and we're working on getting a food show, and the works, all of that's in the works to show you that here locally, it's not all bad as they say it is in Columbus. It's not all bad, but if we leave it up to them to tell our story, it will be all bad in the hood. It will always be bad in the hood. But if we tell our story for ourselves, the right way, the way it should be told, we'll hear and see what's really going on. And so I'm meeting this week with a couple independent journalists. I'm trying to partner up with them, trying to hire them as freelancers and things like that to make this network happen and to make all the other shows happen. But I can only do that if you become a member. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coming to you daily and having these chats with you to tell you all of what's going on and what's happening and things like that. Because me and you, yes, you watching, me and you, we're going to build this thing together, and you are going to be a part of it every step of the way, because I can't do it without you. I was out in the field today, and I was watching another independent content creator who's phenomenal. She launched a show today. Her name's, and you'll probably see her on here from time to time. I call her Auntie Rita, but she's a lifestyle expert and a media guru here locally in Columbus, Ohio. Her name's Rita Fuller Yates. Remember that name, Rita Fuller Yates. She launched a show called Columbus Black News, and it was a phenomenal show. I got to be there on scene for the last 20 or so minutes of her live show. Once it gets posted to Facebook, I'll share that with you, because even she had some technical difficulties, so to say, with the internet connections and things like that. But I want to, and the reason why I'm talking about Rita is because I'm also going to be utilizing my platform, the UnBossed network, and the Unbought and Unbossed show to take you along and to show you all the other black content creators. I took a photo today. I'm going to post it up with another black reporter who's been in the field just as long as me. He runs a nonprofit meet journalism podcast or audio radio show rather. I'm not sure on the brother's name. I should have got it, and I talked to him at length. So one of the things you're also going to learn about me as we get to know one another is I'm horrible with names. I can remember a whole story about you, but your name, I kind of slip on it, so charge it to my mind, not to my heart, as they always say. But this brother, I'm going to post a photo of him, and if you know his name, make sure you comment it below when I post a photo of him. But he's been out there in the trenches too, and I'm going to utilize this platform to showcase other content creators and black journalists out there around the country, and to allow them to tell us what's going on in our own backyard. That's why I'm taking with this show and network in particular, a hyper-local approach. Yes, I'm going to cover everything that's going on in Columbus, be there for as much as I can, but we're also going to talk about all the other black things happening around America, all the other black news. We are going to do that on the ground as well, and we're going to allow other black journalists to take you on that journey as well, but we can't do it without your membership dollar. So before I go, I just want to take the time to, if any of you have any questions, drop them below, and I want to answer them about anything about the equipment we use. I know I talked about that a little bit briefly, about how we do what we do, about how we get the graphic up above to be able to do a Facebook Live like this, how I'm walking around the neighborhood with a light and a phone and a selfie stick. Whatever you want to know, ask the question, and I'm here to answer those questions for you. I'm checking Periscope right now, Twitch. I don't see any questions. I see a bunch of comments that I'm gonna get back to. So, as always, Black America, remember to keep it real, because your conscience depends on it. Peace.